We are just one race into the 2020 Formula 1 season, and already some drivers and teams are under pressure after bad starts to the season. We've looked in depth at Ferrari's problems in another video, which you can find on our channel, so please do subscribe for more from the race. There are plenty of other teams and drivers who, for various reasons, got off to disappointing starts. First up, a man unfortunate enough to be driving that difficult Ferrari. Eliminated in Q2, a spin-in battle and a single point for 10th was not how Sebastian Vettel will have envisaged his Ferrari swan-song season starting. While Ferrari had its wider problems, Vettel's struggles stretched beyond that, as he couldn't match teammate Charles Leclerc's pace and was uncomfortable with the rear end of the car. Having been dropped by Ferrari for 2021, something he confirmed was the team's choice during the Austrian Grand Prix weekend rather than the mutual decision it was originally presented as, Vettel's relationship with the team appears strained. Former Ferrari technical director Ross Brawn has suggested Vettel is surprised and shocked by the decision and that it appeared to be a distraction. A stronger performance at the Red Bull Ring this weekend is needed to stabilise Vettel's season and allow him to build towards the high level of performance he is capable of, something that's essential if he's to have any chance of another shot in a top team in the future. Both Red Bull drivers had a shot at winning the Austrian Grand Prix, but neither Max Verstappen nor Alex Albon saw the checkered flag. Verstappen's gamble to start on mediums and staying within sight of Valtteri Bottas in the early stages meant he was in contention, only to retire with an electronics problem for his Honda engine. Albon's switch to softs at the second safety car left him in 4th place with a tyre advantage and, having dispatched Sergio Perez for 3rd, he was tipped into a spin by Lewis Hamilton and dropped to the back before retiring with 2 laps to go. Not only did it fail even to score a point at its home circuit, but Red Bull was well off the pace of Mercedes in qualifying, with Verstappen just over half a second off pole position. So while Red Bull is just clear of the midfield, and in much better shape than Ferrari with a car it believes has big potential, it has some work to do, given it's already 37 points behind Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship, with Verstappen 25 points adrift in the battle for the driver's title. Outqualified by his teammate, penalised for not respecting yellow flags, and punished for hitting Alex Albon, the Austrian Grand Prix was also not the start to the season Lewis Hamilton needed. Although he still came away with 12 points for 4th place, giving away ground in the title fight in this shortened season could be more costly than ever. Hamilton has good cause to be nervous about a second race at the Red Bull Ring. While it has proved a happy hunting ground for Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas, Hamilton has won there only once in 7 attempts. He doesn't only have to worry about performance and mistakes, because Mercedes also has concerns about reliability. Both drivers were instructed to keep off the circuit's aggressive curbs, costing as much as 0.3 seconds per lap in the race because of concerns about the impact of the savage vibrations caused in the gearbox. It's still early days in the championship, but a repeat of the Austrian Grand Prix results would leave Hamilton more than a race win's worth of points behind Bottas. That's why Hamilton will be determined to hit back with a win in the Styrian Grand Prix. The question is, can he? Renault was conspicuous by its absence from the battle with Racing Point and McLaren in the Austrian Grand Prix, with Daniel Ricciardo retiring early on thanks to cooling problems as the engine temperatures skyrocketed. Ricciardo showed the car has decent pace by making it to Q3, and the Renault isn't that far behind, but it appears to be the weakest of the 3 teams in that front group of traditional midfielders, a group Ferrari also joined in Austria. But the team believes there's more to come from a car that featured significant upgrades last weekend and that is plenty fast enough to be in Q3, as Ricciardo proved. The first priority is to ensure the engine problems suffered by Ricciardo, but not by teammate Esteban Ocon, who finished 8th, does not force any more retirements. Ricciardo said after the race he was optimistic that the team knows how to prevent a repeat of a retirement that cost him and the team a big points haul in Austria. Esteban Ocon's F1 comeback wasn't what he dreamed of after 18 months on the F1 sidelines. He at least came away with 4 points for his 8th place, but spent his Austrian Grand Prix battling with slower cars, having qualified down in 14th place. Although he didn't benefit from a big tow in qualifying, he's not a driver anyone expects to be 6/10 slower than Daniel Ricciardo, as he was in Q2. But Ocon is highly rated for a good reason. Remember, this is the driver who beat Max Verstappen to the European F3 title. He will be keen to remind everyone of how good he is in the Styrian Grand Prix and determined to get on terms with de facto team leader Daniel Ricciardo. It might seem unfair to say Racing Point should have done better than Sergio Perez's 6th place in the Austrian Grand Prix, given the team managed only 3 top 6 finishes in 2019. But this is an ambitious team with a very rapid car that missed out on a serious shot at a podium finish and perhaps even an unlikely victory at the Red Bull Ring. Perez qualifying only 6th was disappointing from a team that was expected to lead the midfield, although Lando Norris's pace for McLaren on single lap and long run pace suggest Racing Point's so-called pink Mercedes might not be quite as quick as everyone expected. But there were also missed opportunities. Qualifying wasn't maximised for either driver, partly thanks to the lack of a tow, while had Perez pitted for softs under the second safety car at the same time as Albon, he might have had a chance of attacking for a top 3 late on. Unfortunately, he also made a costly mistake and sped in the pit lane, earning a 5-second penalty. With Lance Stroll long since retired with an engine problem, 8 points was, at best, a solid return when it might have been spectacular. For a team that's usually so razor sharp, chances are they won't be as rusty again. With 4th in the championship the target, and perhaps 3rd even possible if Ferrari's form continues as it is, Racing Point needs a bigger haul on its second visit to the Red Bull Ring in 2020. The Haas was neither quick nor reliable during the Austrian Grand Prix weekend, and with no upgrades on the horizon thanks to a development freeze enforced by uncertainty over its income, it might have been the start of a long and difficult season. On Saturday, Haas was at the front of a battle with Williams and Alfa to escape Q2, with Romain Grosjean at least managing to win that fight by qualifying 15th. But Grosjean had problems with his front wing and floor before the race even started, eventually retiring with brake problems. Teammate Kevin Magnussen had a better race before he too went off thanks to a brake failure at turn 3, while running 11th.